in a vacuum seal. Okay. Second, they're par cooked, which means that they're halfway cooked. And that juice that's in there, I always pour it off. I always pour it off. So then there go all my vitamins and nutrition. There they go, down the drain. So why I say lazy is, if I went ahead and bought frozen vegetables, and the reason why I like frozen vegetables better is because we know, because we've been around long enough, that everything that's in the garden don't look pretty like the fruit and vegetables that they have in the grocery store on the shelf. But that's a farm, and they did grow those things. And what did they do with the ugly ones? They chopped them up immediately and froze them, because they're not going to lose no money. Losing money is not going to be programmed. So they chop up the ugly ones and they freeze them and they still sell them to you. They do that the same day. When you can research it, Google it. A lot of the larger farms have freezing factories on the premises. If they're going to Bird's Eye and Little Green Giant, these folks, they have a facility on the farm. Or if they're using several farms, they're within a very short distance of that farm. So we're talking about the frozen is better than the fresh.
Is that right?
The frozen is better than the fresh because when this came out the ground, it went on the truck. And the truck went to the processing plant and got washed, and it got packaged in cases. Then it got put on another truck. Then it made its way to whatever grocery store or distribution center to go to grocery stores. This is not a 1 day or 1 hour process. This is a couple of days. Mm-hmm. So it gets to us picked off the tree. We know once we pick it off or pull it out the ground that it is starting to die.
That's true.
It's starting to die. Now, it had to go from being picked off the ground, go get packaged and cleaned up, go to the distribution center, go to the grocery store. And it is still dying every step of the way. Whereas our frozen product, it got picked, it went to the freezer that same hour.
They don't put no purifying.
They don't. My purification, my preservative is ice.
Okay.
Ice stops the growth of most things. If it don't stop it, it slow it down to a halt, to a crawl. So now when I got this off the tree, out the ground, and it went to the local facility to be frozen and packed, its dying stopped or got slowed down to a crawl right there. So that's why I actually like frozen over fresh, especially when it comes to some fruits, berries. Okay, blueberries are so expensive, blackberries are so expensive fresh. Frozen, they almost a third of the cost. And you need these fruits in your life versus getting some canned peaches.
Right.
Okay? Costco sells you a big bag, I think it's like a 5-pound bag of fruit for nearly $10. It's all frozen, cut up fruit. The best thing about this package, when you turn around and you read the label, read these labels. I know you've gotten into the habit of reading them. It says on the package, apples, strawberries, melons, cantaloupe, whatever's in the bag, and then they put a big period at the end. That's it. It's frozen. We don't have to put nothing with this. We don't need to put any salt. We don't need to put any 5-syllable chemical name with it. We don't have to put anything. It's frozen. If you're in the smoothies, it's already frozen. When you're having a fruit salad, it's already frozen. Any other questions about that fresh versus frozen versus canned?
I think do we have a question over here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
He was just agreeing. Well, one of the things that I wanted to add to that is many of you know that we started a community garden here in June. So we got it started late. But we're talking about fresh versus frozen. It doesn't get any more fresh than straight out the garden onto your plate. So that's one of the reasons that we're trying to encourage people to grow their own food. I mean, many of us, we feel like we're city folks and we don't want to farm or garden or we can't garden. But believe me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I've got pounds. This year I've grown over 100 pounds of tomatoes.
We ain't see 'em.
Huh? I ate them, I'm sorry. Next year I'll share them with y'all. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.